Good afternoon to all of you. My name is Polo, and today I want to talk to you about how peanut butter killed my mom. Just kidding, guys. Peanut butter wasn't the culprit, and it wasn't my mom that actually died. You see, what I actually want to tell you all is about something I'm sure you guys have all realized over time, which is that those closest to you are the ones who are most likely to hurt you. Let me explain. Those closest to you know the most about you, and therefore would be a lot more proficient in ruining your life. This is something that can be seen with AesopFables.com rendition of the Aesop fable, The Eagle and the Arrow. Essentially, the eagle and the arrow communicates the idea that we often give our enemies the means to our destruction. The story itself begins with the eagle soaring through the sky in search of prey. The eagle hears the whizzing arrow right before he's mortally wounded. Upon fluttering down, the eagle watches as blood pours out of him. And as he reaches the ground, he is able to make one final look at his body, and he discovers that the arrow that pierced him had been made with his own feathers. I'm sure everyone here, at least to a certain degree, does not care what strangers think of them. At least I know I do not because they don't know me. But you know what we do care about? Our girlfriends, our boyfriends, our parents, our teachers' opinions of ourselves. This is just another example of why those who are closest to you are the ones who are most able to hurt you. This is by no means telling you not to have a relationship with people, obviously. It's just an important element that we all must acknowledge in relationships that we have with others. So now that we've discussed the downside of relationships, I'd like to tell you about how a relationship, which did not have anything to do with peanut butter, ruined my life. When I was in 8th grade, I was an A honor roll student and won first place in the science fair, and I actually headed to regionals at 11. But my story begins 2 days before a big senior trip I took as an 8th grader, as the higher up of the middle school. My grandmother passed away from cancer in my living room. Yeah, depressing, right? So my grandma isn't what comes to your head when you picture grandmother. She's in her early 50s, and she went to Zumba class after her job. Not to mention, she lived in Florida for 20 years. I'm sure we can all agree people in Florida have a little something different in them. 2 weeks before her death, my mother drove down to Florida to bring my grandmother back to North Carolina so we could take care of her. Now, excluding the fact that for a moment in my life, my grandmother was cool as hell, she was still everyone's great old sweet nanny. And I'm telling you guys, she made the best lemon cake in the actual world. When I was with her, we went on runs together in Florida, and she always gave me the most amount of birthday money. She used to slide it under the table like it was drunk money. Those are my favorite memories of her. So when she showed up at my house, of course I was excited. How stupid can a middle schooler be? See, what no one tells you is that watching someone die is scary, especially as a 12-year-old. As those days went on, I began to grow more and more afraid of seeing my grandmother. Not because she scared me, but because her appearance was an impending reminder of her own doom. The day before her death, I decided for myself that I would go back to spending some time with her. I still didn't know she was on the verge of death, not yet anyway. So when I woke up, she didn't remember me at all. And 24 hours later, she died. Then I went to high school. Freshman year, I started failing classes and I distanced myself from friends, and at one point even became bulimic. Nothing up until that point in my life had ever had such an impact on me. No friendship or remarks from my parents. Ultimately, that ruined me. So in conclusion, I've learned that relationships are a gamble. Conclusively, the closer you are to someone, the more they are unable to ruin your life. The eagle unknowingly gave the hunter the means to destroy him. And although my grandmother wasn't my enemy, her arrow definitely pierced me. But now that I've been shot, I never plan to get hit again. Because from now on, I'll be the hunter. Which are you? Thank you. Do you have any questions?